grandfather used to say that once in your life, you need a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, and a preacher. But every day, 3 times a day, you need a farmer. I'm sure you've heard this before. Farming and agriculture date back hundreds of thousands of years to the Fertile Crescent in ancient Mesopotamia. Fast forward through the centuries. Ancient Egypt, the Roman Empire, medieval ages, colonialism. This way of life is one of the oldest. More recent, and something you may be more familiar with, is George Washington, stating that agriculture is the most healthful, most useful, and most noble employment of man. What if I were to tell you that farming and design are not so different? Every farm tells a story, as does every design. The history behind the idea, the thought process, the work put in, the dedication, all of it to produce the exceptional. I want to invite you into a brief story of how a farming design can breach the division between rural and urban, and how it becomes part of the public interface in a space where children can run around in purely unadulterated play. Come with me. The field of play is square. The rows are tidily drawn and placed in organized lines. These things are familiar, yet not. Your gaze roams the area, and you notice a corner filled with quieter aspects, so you make tracks in that direction. You stare in astonishment. There are stones here that dribble water. Crouching down, you run your hand along the surface, relaxing in the comfort of the gentle rivulets. Beside you is a curtain of water. You run your fingers through that next. Sitting for a minute, you play with the water and watch how it drips and splits as your hand passes through the surface. A big crack fills the air, and your head snaps up as a sheet of water hits the ground. It startles you, but as you stand to get a better view from between the rows, you realize it's sort of like a combine or a harvester. It's just really big and really loud. Right, that's it. Excited? You look around. You've had time to scope things out. Let's go and explore. Here, look! Jets of water coming from the ground. They remind you of fresh green shoots in the spring. And these, they look like new buds of cotton. Wait, hang on a second. You were right. This is familiar because it's a farmer's field, a cotton field. Up there are big tufts of cotton that look ready to be picked. And over there, a kangaroo standing in the middle of the row. And another one on the side. This big bucket, it's big like a harvester, but it also drops water that is reminiscent of the anticipated springtime rain. And the sprays behind the bucket? They look like an irrigation system. All of this is familiar, and all of it is fun. This park design, well meant for fun and relaxation, and ultimately the pursuit of a few hours of happiness, is an ode to farmers and all that is owed to them, and their occupation. An unknown person once said, "Man, despite his artistic pretensions, his sophistication, and his many accomplishments, owes his existence to a 6-inch layer of topsoil and the fact that it rains."